Psalms chapter 10, verses 16 through 18. The Lord is king forever and ever. The godless nations will vanish from the land. Lord, you know the hopes of the helpless. Surely you will hear their cries and comfort them. You will bring justice to the orphans and the oppressed, so mere people can no longer terrify them. Nations, they come and go. Empires rise and fall. But Jesus, he is king forever. Verse 16 is correct. Then the godless nations will cease to exist upon this earth. I believe the ultimate fulfillment of verse 16 is not that far off. I believe that soon, and very soon, Jesus will come down. He will rapture his church out of this earth. We will meet him in the air. We will be with him forevermore. But then God starts to pour out his wrath upon the earth, and he begins the judgment of the nations. And 7 years later, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords himself will descend from heaven with all the heavenly armies and all those who place their trust in him, the saints with him. And down below, all the nations of the earth will have sent their armies to Jerusalem to make war with all the followers of God and with Jesus himself. And Jesus, just by the power of his breath alone, with a sharp two-edged sword, he speaks the word of God, and all the armies of the nations will be defeated. Then Jesus will come down. He'll set his feet upon the Mount of Olives, as prophesied. It will split. He will then go into Jerusalem after defeating all the armies, and then he will establish the throne of David forever. And Jesus, the eternal King, will reign over all this earth and all the nations that remain. What I mean by remain, the godless nations and their armies are gone. He will begin the millennial kingdom, and all those nations that are left, they will be forced to come up and worship the King every year. And those who don't, God will withhold the rain from those nations. Justice will be established in all the earth. The helpless, the poor, the orphans, there'll be no one left there to terrorize them anymore. Jesus, he will be their king and their God. Jesus the King, he is comfort to the helpless. He is justice to the orphan and the oppressed. He is the king and the judge of all the nations. The king who will shelter all those who trust in him. When all the godless nations are gone, our King Jesus will remain and reign over all the earth.